side.
You're watching WJZ-TV with Baltimore's most watched 6 p.m. newscast. In real-time closed captioning for the hearing impaired. This is Eyewitness News at 6 with Al Sanders and Denise Koch.
The field he and his fellow players left nearly 9 months ago.
And with the first pitch, baseball was officially welcomed back to Camden Yards.
It is a sports event, it is a social event, and it's definitely a new beginning for O's fans.
And our team coverage begins with John Buren at the Sport of Baseball, and John's live at the ballpark. John.
Well, it's not exactly what we all hoped for this afternoon, Don, but baseball is back in Charm City. The umpires' labor dispute was settled today. That lockout is over, so I guess there is something positive to come out of this day. Also, a historical note, the last time the Orioles played the Brewers on opening day was in 1988, and the Brewers won that game 12-0. So they've made some improvement over those years. For the first time since August 11th of last year that we've had real live baseball here at Camden Yards. O's and the Brewers, home opener this afternoon. It all went in one direction today. Orioles starter Mike Mussina, who pitched well in Kansas City last week, got hit in the top of the third. Seitzer slams one into the left field seats with a man on. Two-run bingo to give Milwaukee a 3-0 lead. There in the top of the fourth with a man on and nobody out, it was John Jaha who goes the same way. Hard drive down the left field line, just fair. That made it a 5-0 game, and Mussina was done after 4 innings. Meanwhile, Milwaukee starter Ricky Bonas went 7 1/3 innings, allowed only 2 hits, no runs. That one strikeout of shortstop Cal Ripken Jr. The Milwaukee Brewers get 7 runs on 12 hits. The Orioles are shut out on 2 hits, and that gives us the 7-0 final from down here at Camden Yards. We have to get some locker room reaction for you coming up in just a second, but right now, resplendent in red on this opening day. Deborah Stone is with us. What you got, Deb?
Well, unfortunately, of course, fans would have preferred it if the Orioles had won today, but you've heard the expression, absence makes the heart grow fonder. For many Orioles fans, that was true today. After the long baseball strike, most of them seemed happy to be at an opening day game, even if it was a month late. Strike up the band. Baseball is back. As the gates opened at 12 o'clock, some Orioles fans were already standing in line. Once they got through the turnstiles and got their free peanuts, it was time to savor the mood of opening day. Programs! Ribs and sausage sizzled on the grill. 4-year-old Brian tasted his first ballpark hot dog, and the crowd started filling up Oriole Park.
Opening day, Camden Yards. Here we go.
I'm feeling happy because I've been waiting to see the games since the strike. I want to catch a ball or just be a regular fan yelling and screaming for the Orioles.
Shane Justice wasn't the only one hoping to catch a ball. As the team took batting practice, these fans in the flag court scrambled for one of the first balls to clear the right field wall. While fans in other cities have stayed away from opening day, many people here today said that really wasn't an option for them.
I didn't consider it at all because of Peter Angelos and how he didn't use replacement players or anything, so I got to support him, and I just love to see baseball.
I'm a faithful fan. I'm back in full force.
You say you're willing to forgive, you willing to forget?
Well, I won't forget it, but I think I'll forgive a little bit.
I'm still angry, but I'm here. There's a little bit of my spirit that they took away.
There were some empty seats in the stands, but the majority were filled, and fans seemed as enthusiastic as ever.
Baseball is Americans' game. Everybody should be out here in the spring and the summer watching baseball.
Now, while many teams have had slow ticket sales, that doesn't seem to be a problem here. Orioles officials tell us that they have sold $2.8 million for the season out of a potential $3.3 million, and that's pretty typical for this time of the season.
Yeah, no, that's excellent, but the part that I found interesting was that as of this morning, there were actually some tickets available for the opener because people had turned back in.
That's right.
And that there are still some tickets available for opening night on Wednesday, but still, 2.8 out of 3.3.
Not bad.
That's doing some righteous business down here at the ballpark. All right, that's it for now. We'll be back with sports and maybe even a guest appearance by Deborah Stone again. Who knows? Orioles a 7-0 loser on opening day. We'll have more from Camden Yards a little bit later. Right now, send it back to Don Scott and Eddie Scott.
All right, thank you, John. So the question, are businesses around the ballpark booming now that baseball's back? Well, you bet they are, and they're mighty happy about it as well. We talked to a few people who really noticed a drop in business during the strike. They say now that the Birds are back, their businesses are happily making money once again.
We're very much appreciative of it, and we think that it's great for the city. We've seen a momentum pick up substantially in the hotel as well as the local community. And I'd like to have an opening day every Monday.
I was down to like 20 hours a week, and now I'll be up to overtime.
Cab drivers say they're happy as well. They say they're getting short rides, which save on gas, and they're getting lots and lots and lots of short rides. And the business people we spoke with, as you can imagine, say they hope that more of the same for the rest of the season.
And I'm sure that also goes for all the men and women who hawk food, drink, and souvenirs at the stadium. Team coverage reporter Pat Warren has been with the vendors all day long now and joins us live now with more from just outside the ballpark. Pat?
John, regardless of the outcome of the game, a cloud has been lifted for hundreds of people who were here at the stadium today who've had trouble making ends meet over the past 8 months. We talked to some of them today, inside and outside of the ballpark, and what they said is, as far as they're concerned, nothing could go wrong with this day.
The Orioles be back in town, and our doors to be open, and people to be in here, it's a good feeling.
Budweiser, Cowboys! Budweiser, Cowboys!
Which is just about what they earned last season, peanuts. The ballpark vendors, local businesses, and food service workers all had their incomes interrupted by the strike, and it's been hard for them.
There's nothing else that I could do, just sit back and wait. So I'm just glad this day is finally here, I wish we could have started the season at home, though.
Please put your number buttons where it is visible, from the front, not on the side of your hat.
They were chomping at the bit to come back. They were not happy because the season ended early. They're not happy because it's starting late. They're just glad to be back.
You're talking about a third of the season, which is, you know, a major part of income when you're doing budgets and what have you. You got families and houses and what have you. But everybody's all glad to be back, and we're ready to go.
I'm going to buy you a beer.
You know, we all love baseball. That's why we're here. And as a fan, I'm disgusted. But as a business owner, I understand that things happen. However, the grief factor really, we're not going to forget that very soon.
I'm telling you, I'm glad to be back here. What did you do during the strike? Stayed home. Nothing to do. Wasn't nothing to do. Couldn't find anything to do. It's hard to find a job.
It was a bad strike. It was just stupid on both halves, I feel.
So if you had been the negotiator, what would you have said to these guys?
Play ball.
Play ball, and try to forget about the past, but it won't be easy to do because in that time, since the strike, those bills have been piling up.
Imagine, Pat, how long do you think before the vendors are going to be able to recoup some of their losses?
Well, actually, the fans will have a lot to do with that. These men and women work on commission, so when you come to the ballpark, bring your appetites. The more you buy, the more they make.
Come hungry, come thirsty. All right.
Thank you very much, Pat.
Sure.
By the way, just in case you're curious, there are more than 100 vendors at Camden Yards. Some businesses miles and miles away from the ballpark were also hit hard by the strike, but they, too, are seeing things bounce back now that baseball's back. The old ball game in Reisterstown is a trading card shop, and owner Joe Bosley says when the players walked, fewer and fewer fans walked in to buy baseball cards at his shop, but he has seen a recent upswing to his trade, especially when it comes to cards with Cal on them. And while Baltimore fans are believed to be among the most loyal, some arrived at the ballpark today with small signs of their impatience. The props? Baseballs with fans attached. The sign designating them as the replacement variety. But feelings aside, more than 46,000 people showed up to welcome home the Birds today.
Yeah, some left early, but that won't count. Well, among those contributing to today's opening day spectacle was a group of very excited, very young students.
And Stan Saunders is live with the story of some 4th and 5th graders who today went to the head of the lineup. Stan?
Let me tell you, today was the day that 15 students from Lafayette Elementary School in West Baltimore got the chance of their lives. Yes, sir, buddy. And you know what? Terry Johnson was one of the fortunate few who got a chance to introduce the 1995 Baltimore Orioles before a sellout crowd.
I'm like, Mama.
See you later.
All right, bye, Mom.
Bye.
After hugging Grandma goodbye and scooting out the door, he was on his way. 11-year-old Terry Johnson had a little extra pep in his step today. Every step of the way meant getting closer and closer to that big moment. This, my friends, was just no ordinary school day.
It's exciting. It's real exciting, but I just want to hurry up and get to it.
I want you to look at page 16.
Later on, Terry and several other members of the Baltimore Baseball League did have classwork on their minds.
I was all excited.
Were you thinking about classwork, LaShawn?
Yeah.
As much as going to the park?
No. Just so excited and I'm nervous. It was hard going to bed because I went to bed early. And when I woke up this morning, I woke up at like 5 o'clock. I was ready to roll. I was thinking I wanted to go to the Orioles game. Forget school.
Every passing second brings Terry and his teammates closer and closer to their date with destiny before tens of thousands of fans. But one thing's for sure, this is a day they will never, I say never, ever forget the rest of their lives.
If they present themselves in such a way as others would be proud of them, then they should be proud of themselves.
Before long, with help from another group known as the Challengers, it was showtime. Not to mention Terry getting special help from first baseman Rafael Palmeiro.
Thank you.
Let's get the Then, ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth, the introduction of number 8. I think you could hear Terry Johnson over the PA announcer. Was he excited or what? And one other thing, Denise, he said he is never going to wash that hand that touched Cal Ripken's hand.
Well, his grandma might have something to say about that. We saw that people going into the stadium were given souvenirs today. Did the kids get anything special?
Well, I know they got a nice little grab bag. I mean, a fat little grab bag. Didn't get a chance to see what was inside of it. But, yeah, they got some nice things. But I can tell you one thing. Even though it was a bad day for the Orioles, as far as those kids are concerned, whew, that's a win in their lives they'll never forget.
Absolutely.
Denise.
All right, thank you, Stan. Stan Saunders reporting. The Baltimore Baseball League, by the way, is co-sponsored by the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, baseball is back, and we will be too in a moment.
Coming up this week on Entertainment Tonight, if you thought Meg Ryan pushed the limit in When Harry Met Sally, wait till you see what she does with a French kiss. And you've seen the Academy Awards, but you haven't seen anything till you've seen the Wonder Bra Awards. Find out who'll be crowned the Cleavage Queen. But first, she replaced Pamela Anderson as a tool-time gal. Now will Home Improvement's Debbie Dunning bump the Baywatch babe off the beach?
I get to kick some butt.
Find out on the next Entertainment Tonight.
Weeknights at 7:30 on WJZ. Tuesday at 5. He wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth, but one day he'll be a rich man. No matter who you are, your bundle of joy can grow up to be worth a bundle. We'll tell you how. Watch $1 Million Baby on Eyewitness News at 5, Tuesday, only on 13.
Wednesday at 5, rockers and rowers, models and moms, these are women in their 40s. Hi, I'm Sally Thorner. Are we over the hill when we hit 40? We'll explode a few myths. Join me for Fabulous 40s Wednesday on Eyewitness News at 5, only on 13.
When Heritage has a grand opening sale, it covers a lot of territory. We're celebrating the grand opening of the Heritage Auto Mall in Bel Air at all Heritage locations. From Owings Mills to Bel Air, we've reduced prices on more than 2,000 cars, trucks, and vans. You'll find Oldsmobile and Cadillac, Jeep Eagle and Saturn, and now Mazda, all at the most competitive prices anywhere. Come on in and save. Join the grand opening celebration at the Heritage location near you.
Just when you get really good at being a baby, boom, you're a kid. Just when you're an expert at being a kid, you're a teenager. And when you've got the whole teenage thing nailed, you're an adult. Wouldn't it be nice to enter a new stage of life as wise as when you leave it? A money agent can help you make the right financial moves now. Because with time, we all get wiser. The trick is to get smart early enough to do you some good.
In a Baltimore courtroom today, 2 women told stories of bizarre sexual abuse they say they suffered as Catholic high school students more than two decades ago. They accuse a priest and some others, but Suzanne Collins says a judge must decide if their civil suit can even go to trial.
We're not identifying Jane Doe because she's a possible sex victim who claims a priest raped her, saying he was filling her with the Holy Spirit. She accuses Father Joseph Maskell of putting a gun in her mouth to threaten her, and today she told Judge Hillary Kaplan it happened at Archbishop Keogh High School in the early 70s. A second victim, Jane Rowe, made similar charges.
Father Maskell repeatedly abused to the extremes of sexual abuse, including intercourse and some other sort of bizarre sexual activity.
Maskell denies all the charges. He wasn't in court today.
He is, however, very much stressed as a result of all of this, all of the allegations. These allegations have been going on for 3 years. When they first surfaced, the Archdiocese refused to even give him the name of his accuser.
This is the legal issue. If the women were raped in the 70s and they remembered that all along, the statute of limitations would have run out and they could not sue. But if they were so traumatized by it that they repressed that memory and only remembered it recently under therapy, then they can file suit.
It's a repression of memory, or what they call traumatic amnesia. And we have psychologists, psychiatrists, neuropsychologists who are going to testify that there's been no way to demonstrate that there's any reliability, scientific reliability to this at all.
Jane Rowe, the second victim, says she always remembered being naked with Father Maskell, that he caressed her and examined her, saying she'd been sexually active and might have an infection. But in the past 3 years, she now claims to remember Maskell raped her numerous times, that his friend, a gynecologist, also raped her in his office, and she claims that Maskell, who was a police chaplain, encouraged an officer to rape her. Suzanne Collins, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
The attorney for the women says they have dozens of witnesses who can corroborate the sexual abuse if the case does go to trial.
Well, today, family, friends, and fellow officers are mourning the loss of a Prince George's County police corporal. Hundreds turned out this morning in Bowie for the funeral of John Novobilski. The officer was shot 7 times in the head last Wednesday night while sitting in his patrol car outside a liquor store in Palmer Park. At the time, he was moonlighting as a security guard. Authorities have charged 26-year-old Jeffrey Gilbert with Novobilski's murder. Police are offering a $12,000 reward for information leading to the weapon used in the killing, as well as the officer's weapon.
The head of the Maryland State Police was in Oklahoma City today. David Mitchell spoke with emergency experts and the FBI director about handling a major tragedy like the Oklahoma City bombing. He also gave a Maryland flag and state police hat to Oklahoma Governor Frank Keating. The FBI released a third sketch today of a prime suspect in the Oklahoma bombing, known as John Doe No. 2. This time it's a profile. Agents also searched a Kansas State Park near Junction City today, where the Ryder truck that carried the bomb was rented. Meantime, rescue workers are preparing to use machines to remove the remains of people still missing inside the blast. It's increasingly become too risky for rescue workers to search the shell of the building without it collapsing on top of them. The death toll now stands at 139, including 15 children, and there still are about 40 people missing.
Well, as you know by now, the Orioles opened their home season today on a less than sensational note. Michael Lesker was at the ballpark, and he says, well, could it have been worse, Pollyanna?
That's me all over. It's one game, it's a long season. Question is, who's going to stick around? The Orioles only lost a ball game. The question is, how many fans has baseball lost before the season even started? Forget the 7-0 score. The real numbers were the empty seats around the ballpark. Not many, but some. And that's noteworthy on an opening day at Camden Yards, plus the response of fans. When the ball players were introduced before the game, there used to be thunderous ovations. This time, a lot of people were sitting on their hands. Only Cal Ripken's ovation seemed up to par. Nobody knows yet just how bad the damage is from the strike. In some cities, they're selling tickets at half price or $1 and still can't lure people. In Baltimore, the biggest shows of bitterness were a couple of women holding up a sign reading "replacement fans" and a guy holding up a string of dollar bills. There will be better days for the Orioles. Their best pitcher, Mike Mussina, got shellacked, but he'll get better. Their hitters did nothing, but they'll get better. The big question, which every team in baseball wonders about, is still unanswered. Can they make the fans forget about that ugly little strike? I'm Michael Olesker.
Thank you, Michael. Well, you've heard the expression, never kid a kidder. Well, one man in Oregon learned a new lesson this weekend, never rob a robber. A convicted robber on a weekend pass from jail had arranged to meet his lawyer and return about $60,000 he stole. Somebody trusted this guy. On the way, a gunman held him up and took off with the money. Luckily, a passerby tackled the second robber about a block away. Now both robbers are in jail, and the money is in safer hands.
I think I understand.
Yes.
Bob Turk down at the stadium with where the weather wasn't so great today.
Oh, it's much better than we thought, though.
We were lucky, really very lucky. We've got a storm headed our way for tonight and tomorrow. We had one yesterday.
right in between, we got this beautiful day in. Lucky for us, we really were lucky. We got a lot of rain coming again, almost like we saw yesterday, coming tonight and tomorrow. Right now, with clouds on the increase around the region, we're looking at 60, dew point 43, humidity 50%, winds light, northeast at 8, barometer falling 2992, air quality in good range this afternoon at 37. Your tides tomorrow, sunrise 6:07, sets tomorrow night at 8 o'clock straight up. Back to the forecast in a minute.
Are the stars out tonight?
Encourage your kids to commit to an alcohol and drug-free prom night. Have them sign the Nationwide Insurance Prom Promise.
Nationwide is on your side.
She's a strong person, someone who can smile through most anything. But sometimes you just can't close your eyes to the aches anymore. When the pain outlasts the Tylenol and you've tried Advil, you try your doctor, see what she recommends. She said take a leave every 8 to 12 hours.
A fast-acting form of the medicine anaphorine.
Something she's been prescribing for nearly 20 years. A leave lasts longer than extra-strength Tylenol. Advil certainly isn't stronger. She's tougher than I'll ever be.
Women usually are.
Aleve, all day strong, all day long.
This country owes its very existence to the strength and courage of its working men and women. Unfortunately, many worked in areas contaminated by asbestos. If you or a loved one were occupationally exposed to asbestos and have been diagnosed with mesothelioma, a disease uniquely linked to brief asbestos exposure, call the law offices of Peter Angelos for a confidential legal consultation. Call, we want to help.
Get out of the city. Get into the savings. Jeff Legum's Westminster Motors, the best dealership in the country.
So you choose your multivitamin for what's in it.
Sure.
Maybe you should pick one for what's not.
What?
Geritol completes a multivitamin that's sodium-free with no added sugar or lactose.
You're kidding. Geritol? Okay. Does it have as many vitamins and minerals as the others?
More than one a day in Theragram, and Geritol has the most beta-carotene.
All the antioxidants, folic acid, calcium? I'm taking it.
Geritol Complete. Complete for what's in it, special for what's not.
Baltimore baseball fans remember one of the greats, Negro League legend Leon Day.
Yeah, you saw him there on this opening day. He's remembered as a hero, and Leon Day will this summer become a member of the Hall of Fame, posthumously, of course. But he knew about it.
Yeah, at least he got to know. That's right, that's right. Hey, Bob, what do you know?
I'm right here. Beautiful. We really were lucky today. It turned out to be a really, really pleasant day for baseball. Really nice temperatures. A lot of clouds early, late in the afternoon. Some sun here and there. Started off bright, but we have more clouds on the western horizon. In fact, we have rain. Take a look at the radar. Another rainmaker heading our direction. Take a look at the stuff moving in from Virginia. Even as we speak, you can see it advancing northeastward right now. Looks like we could see another ½ inch to an inch of rain. Almost the same type of rain pattern that we saw yesterday. One storm, you can just about, if you look way off to the north-northeast, we had some rain leaving Massachusetts just a few hours ago. That's the first storm. In between, we had some fair skies for a while today. Now the skies on the increase with clouds, and the rain probably about 150 miles to our southwest. It's going to take a little while to get here. Probably after about 10 or 11 o'clock tonight, we'll start seeing more rain. And tomorrow looks like a pretty much all-day rain event. Temperature-wise around the region, generally in the upper 50s to the low 60s now with the clouds starting to move in. And that's pretty much where we were much of the daytime hours with a good deal of sunshine this morning. Got us into the low 60s. Normal high is 69, normal low 47, our low 45 so far. Northeast winds tomorrow picking up 12 to 25. Going to be a really raw, nasty day tomorrow on the bay. Take a look. You can take a look at our cloud cover. An area of low pressure over portions of the Tennessee Valley headed right through the Maryland, Virginia area, and that'll bring us the clouds and the rain. But behind that on Wednesday, back into some sunshine and temperatures rebound close to 70. Next chance of showers Thursday night with another front now crossing into the central Rockies. Take a look at temperatures around the region tomorrow. Upper 40s to low 50s. That's it. With the clouds and the rain, just a really nasty, chilly, miserable kind of day. But the lawns, the trees, love it. I'm loving it. The gardeners are happy. Rain later, cool overnight, low 46, winds northeast 10 to 18. And then tomorrow, just a rainy, raw, chilly day, 46 to 50 for highs. Low tomorrow night, 40 to 45. Northeast winds at 12 to 25. Come back in a few minutes, take a look at our 5-day forecast. But now it's up to you, John Buren.
Uncle Bob, hey, Uncle Bob, as Chuck Thompson would say, I think it's just darn nifty the way you fit this game in between the storms.
I'm telling
Wasn't
you.
that something?
Incredible.
The way the one storm went out, the baseball came in, and then another storm. Let's do that again.
One's in,
Whoosh.
one's out.
It's unbelievable. We're going to choreograph this thing and be back. You know, what are you going to do? You got to have a little fun down here today. 7-0 Brewskis win. Have some reaction to it and talk about it when we come back live at the ball yard. Stay with us.
Before you buy an Accord or Camry, compare their surface beauty to the Subaru Legacy. For on a slippery surface, only the all-wheel drive Legacy automatically transfers power from the wheels that slip to the wheels that grip to help keep you out of a slide. And only the Legacy offers the active safety of Subaru all-wheel drive, all for a purchase price under Accord and Camry. So drive the car whose greatest beauty is its surface beauty. For a limited time, get 1.9% financing or lease for just $199 a month.
Just when you get really good at being a baby, boom, you're a kid. Just when you're an expert at being a kid, you're a teenager. And when you've got the whole teenage thing nailed, you're an adult. Wouldn't it be nice to enter a new stage of life as wise as when you leave it? A money agent can help you make the right financial moves now. Because with time, we all get wiser. The trick is to get smart early enough to do you some good.
What goes into the Dodge Viper? V10 engineering. More horsepower than a Ferrari 348. But not these impurities. Every new Viper leaves the factory with crystal clear Amoco Ultimate. The only premium refined an extra step to remove impurities. For unsurpassed performance, proving a masterstroke of engineering begins with your car, but ends with your gasoline.
Sports, brought to you by Staples, the office superstore.
The copier's broken again. Can we get a Xerox? They have them at Staples.
I'll think about it. Oh, I ordered your Xerox copier.
You did?
Want a Xerox copier? Staples has them, all with a 3-year Xerox warranty and at the guaranteed low price. Staples, yeah, we've got that.
And John Buren's here now to recap a game most of us probably don't want recapped again, John.
Yeah, it's sort of the lowest part of the day. Exciting to have the team back, but not great to lose.
Yeah, well, it's a flat day, but Deborah Stone was taking the pulse of the people today, and she just reported to me that there was absolutely no backlash to the people who were here today about the strike and all that. I guess that would be expected from the people inside the stadium. But capacity crowd, 46,500 here to watch it, and Deb said they were all, for the most part, happy campers. The O's obviously got in a hole early today and never could get out of it. Home opener goes in the loss column. Final from down at Camden Yards this afternoon. The Brewskis win it 7-0. Defensive play of the day, though, was to the Orioles' second baseman, Manny Alexander. Pat Listash of the plate sends a shot up the middle. Alexander diving, lunging to his right. He makes the catch. Oh. Well, there's your Oriole highlight. Anyway, Ricky Bonas was the star of this game. Milwaukee Brewers starter went 7 1/3, gave up 2 hits, no runs, struck out 1 as he got the shortstop swinging right there. And then in the top of the third, Brewski's got more runs than they needed. Kevin Seitzer with a man on, gets a pitch to pull off of Mike Mussina and lays that bad boy out. Out there in the left field seats, 2-run bingo. Made it 3-0 Milwaukee. Kevin Seitzer, 3 hits on the day. Final count from the ball yard was 7-0. Brewskis over Damos in the home opener here at Camden Yards. And Chris Ely has some post-game reaction to today's Oriole loss.
Thanks, John. Orioles get waxed today by the Milwaukee Brewers 7-0. Only 2 hits and one of the only ones that were able to get their Ricky Bonas. Brady Anderson. Brady, an awfully tough day. Ricky had to have been just right on top of his game today.
Yeah, he threw a great game today. He kept us off balance with a off-speed pitch. He was turning his fastball over and running it and cutting it. And just kept us off balance the whole game. You know, got to give him credit. He threw well today.
At least this club is consistent. You've had 3 opening days this year, and you've lost all 3. How disappointing is this to lose in front of a big opening crowd?
You know, it's very disappointing. But you know, again, it's another loss. It's not any more disappointing than regular loss. Like you said, we're not very good on opening days. I don't think we have any more left, though, so we'll be all right.
Brady Anderson right here, one of the only 2 hits against the Ricky Bonas today. Brady Anderson. John, back to you.
Okay, we're back at the ballpark, and we got a couple other scores to tell you about. So here they are. The Angels, 2-0 over the Toronto Blue Jays in a final. Former Oriole Lee Smith with a third save of the year there. And the National League, it's the Dodgers and the Giants. Giants on top 3-0. Fifth inning of play at Candlestick Park. Also today, the labor dispute between the Major League Baseball owners and the umpires has finally been resolved. The lockout is now over. The regular umpires, we are told, will be back at work on Wednesday, as they won significant pay increases at almost every level in which they'd been seeking them. Rookie umpires are now guaranteed $100,000 a year. Fellows with the top seniority among the Major League Baseball umpires can now earn up to $282,000 a year. The new contract is for 5 years, and it stipulates that the umpires will receive 100% of their $19.95 salary. That concludes our abbreviated sports segment. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to bring back a close personal friend of mine. Are you going to do the flyby?
No
flyby?
5 day.
I love the flyby.
5 day.
The 5 day?
Okay.
Can we do the flyby tomorrow?
Maybe.
Let's
take a look at the 5-day forecast. We've got rain on tap for later tonight. Rain tomorrow. Highs only in about 50 degrees. Tomorrow night, drizzle, 42. Wednesday, clouds and sun, but milder, 68. Maybe some showers by Thursday afternoon again, 76 on Thursday, and some thunder showers perhaps by nighttime. Friday, a shower early, and then partly sunny, 72. Start the weekend partly sunny and 72 for the beginning of the weekend. Done.
Thank you, Bob. Finally, the Orioles starting lineup got a new player today. 8-year-old Stephen Lauer from Pasadena was randomly picked to be the 10th man on the team. An enthusiastic Lauer met all of his favorite players and had the honor of being called teammate for a day.
Steve, go back and shake Cal's hand. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's it. Make sure you shake Cal's hand.
For his troubles, young Stephen Lauer received an Orioles jersey and a ball cap that he keeps forever.
And the thrill of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Go back and shake Cal's hand, please.
Like if you remind me.
That's our report at the moment. CBS Evening News is next, followed by Entertainment Tonight. I'm Don Scott.
And I'm Denise Koch. For Al Sanders and for the entire Witness News team, we're back at 11 tonight with the night team right after the CBS movie special, Buffalo Girls. See you then.
Closed captioning of Eyewitness News is made possible by a grant from U.S. Healthcare.
When Heritage has a grand opening sale, it covers a lot of territory.